So I've been very vocal about not loving Medium's new boosted feature, but I got a story boosted in the new algorithm, and in this video I'll be breaking down how much it earned, how much you can expect to earn from boosted stories, plus a handful of tangible actions you can take to increase the likelihood of your stories getting boosted as well. Let's get into it. To give you a little background, Medium's new boosted feature is how they distribute stories to a wider audience. Essentially, after you post a story, a small group of writers and editors who have signed up to become boost nominators decide whether or not your story is worthy of a boost based on a handful of factors which I will touch on shortly. But before that, I think it's only right to start off by showing you how much you can expect to earn if your story is selected for a boost. I posted this story 3 weeks ago. You can see here it was boosted on October the 6th, and to date it has earned a total of $760, garnering 5,800 views at a 74% read ratio. This story has also earned quite a bit of engagement, although nothing insane. I've had stories earn this much engagement in the past and earn less than $100. So the main metric that contributed to its success, I believe, is the read ratio, which I will touch on shortly and explain exactly how you can use that to maximize your boosted stories as well. But for now, I want to give you an idea of how this story's earnings rank in terms of the average amount for boosted stories on Medium. So if you look at this internal metric released by Medium, you can see here after a story is boosted, 95% of them will garner more than 500 views, 73% will garner at least 1,000 views, 20% 5,000 views, 8% 10,000, and only 1% of Medium stories gain more than 50,000 views. So if we analyze my story just on the basis of its views, it ranks within the 50th and 20th percentile of stories on Medium. So a hit, obviously I'm happy to earn almost $800 from a single article, but in the grand scheme of things, it acted about average in terms of its views. With that said, I do believe in terms of earnings, this article actually outperformed its views and earned more compared to other boosted stories on Medium. For a reference, the most profitable story I've ever written is this one here, which earned just over $2,000 USD. This was written in the old algorithm where read time, specifically member read time, contributed to stories being pushed out to a wider audience in addition to the boost. Now, in Medium's new algorithm, the majority of a story's earnings will come within the first 30 days as outlined by Medium's principal product manager in this interview. And when compared to other stories on Medium, I believe it has earned a substantial amount, I would say leaning on the higher end. For example, this story here by Corey Who Writes has earned around the same, just about $800 USD. And it is one of the most viewed stories in one of Medium's largest publications for the entire year. Although Medium removing member read time from their stats page makes it hard to discern how much the rest of these stories earned, as we only have the engagement and the ranking in terms of reads to go off of, it would seem as though this is a very high earning story in the new algorithm. I've also checked in with a few friends of mine who have had stories boosted in the new algorithm, and their results rank anywhere from $100 to about $250 USD. In analyzing all this information and comparing it to my own experience, I believe a great metric to aim for to maximize the amount that your stories can earn after they're boosted is a read ratio of 70% or higher. Although Medium has shared that their main metrics for success are now engagement and read ratio, I do believe they're taking the amount of people who follow you after your story is posted into account as well, which would fall under the category of engagement. In the new algorithm, being boosted is the most important thing, and although I don't love how much of the boosting criteria is arbitrary and vague, if this is the new reality and you are looking to earn money on Medium, it's important to get on board with the way things are moving. For one, on every single story, I would aim for a read ratio of 70% or higher. I have found that for my stories that fall under this mark, their earnings are quite limited. And for stories that rank above this, I notice they continue to earn more for longer and could potentially help your other stories being pushed to them as well. In addition, I have created a little checklist to remind myself of the major points to hit when writing a story which I want to be boosted, which you can download in the description below for free, and will act as a great foundation for you to increase the likelihood of your stories getting boosted as well. In the past, consistency was a really important factor in the eyes of Medium's algorithm, and today it's not. So what I've done is move my posting schedule down to one story per week, spending the rest of my time making sure to respond to comments and spreading engagement to other writers, because that increases the likelihood that they will see your stories, engage with them, and help give your story a natural boost in the eyes of the algorithm. In addition, posting one time per week allows me more time to strategize which publications will be the best fit for my story and provide me the time to submit to them, as the larger publications can take up to 72 hours to make a decision on whether they're going to post your story or not. Essentially, what I do is on Mondays, I post my story to my ideal publication. This is generally the larger publications that have at least one Boost nominator working for them as an editor. You can find a list of Boost nominators and the publications they work for in the description below. After submitting my story to those large publications, I wait 3 days to hear back from them. If I don't hear back from them by Thursday, I remove my story from the publication and I submit it to Illumination, because they're a large publication that is not strict on their guidelines. They publish extremely fast, often the same day, and they publish stories on any topic. In addition, I've had 2 stories boosted after publishing in their publication, which tells me either they have nominators working as editors, or they are a large enough publication that those Boost editors are seeing my stories on their feed. And lastly, I make sure to include all of these points in every one of my stories, as my goal for every story is to have it chosen for a boost and distributed to a wider audience. Even if you don't write personal stories or don't feel as though you are an expert on the topic, you can add these elements into every single story. I really hope you find these tips valuable. I hope that they help you get your stories boosted and earn you lots and lots of money. As I mentioned, you can download my boosted checklist in the description below, and I would love to hear your experience with either having a story boosted or strategies that you are experimenting with. Even if you just have a question or want to say hi, leave a comment. I love responding to comments. I respond to comments every single week, and I love seeing your comments there and interacting with you. I think I covered everything. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.